Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. As ever, you can find me over on Instagram at the House of Langford and at Overall Sews. I'm also on Ravelry at MadXStitcher, and there's a Facebook group and page linked to this podcast. There is also a Ko-fi account of which all the details will be down in the description for you. And this is my little slice of the internet. This is where I share a monthly podcast, everything that I have made in that month, just what I've gotten up to basically. It is now the summer holidays, and because I am a teacher, I'm a textiles teacher, I live in Thurrock with my husband Ralph and my almost 18-year-old son Joey. That's basically us. We live in a flat, so we're kind of in the middle. We have neighbours downstairs and upstairs, so it can get a little bit noisy. And our roads seem to be quite busy actually during the summer, so apologies if you hear anything outside. So this month's podcast is all about what happened in July, and my plans for the month were as follows: finish the Postcards with Love Cow, finish the Buoy Wreath that I started last month, finish the Spring Fling scarflet because I've been working on it for far too long now, and try and finish another sample. So that was 4 things on my list to do. Now I can tell you I finished 2. I have finished 1 sample and the Buoy Wreath. Haven't actually touched the others at all. I actually took the Spring Fling scarflet with me to a retreat that I'll talk about in a little while over the weekend, and I also took the Postcards of Love Cow to Yarmouth with me when I went to Yarmouth for a couple of days with my husband last week, so didn't actually touch either of them. And I think the blanket is still in my car. So I have decided to vlog again this summer, so I've just uploaded everything to my computer off of my phone for week 1. So you'll get to see my trip to Yarmouth and my little retreat that I went to over the weekend. I have somehow managed to put myself forward to teach crochet over the summer holidays, which is absolutely great because it's at my local yarn shop, which means I can walk there, and it's teaching people how to crochet, which I absolutely love. You'll probably see from most of these podcasts that I now prefer to crochet than anything else. So even though I say it's a multi-craftual podcast, it's pretty much crochet. I do have some cross stitch that I really should be getting on with. But other than that, that's what I've got. So we're going to start with my FOs. Now what I can say is that I only have 1 here to show you, but I did pre-record a bit for one of the samples that I finished, so you will see that as well. Now what I will say is 2 of them are at my local yarn shop and 1 is now at my not so local yarn shop. But yes, so I have finished the Buoy Wreath. It is now on display at my local yarn shop, which is all Tangled Up. Also the little yarn hut on Instagram. It's literally a 5-minute drive down the road from me, and we have knit and natter on a Wednesday between 1 and 6, and then the shop is open between 10 and 4 on a Saturday. And what I like to do in the holidays is literally go down for 10 o'clock on a Saturday and sit there all day, and I do that anyway regardless of whether it's a holiday. And during the holidays I do go and sit for knit and natter from 1 till 6. I am there all day, so people do tend to come up to me and ask me for help with their crochet anyway. So by teaching there, I feel like I'm talking really fast, by teaching there I'm hoping that will encourage them a bit more to try and work independently and not have to rely on me being there to answer their questions. But it's still lovely that they do ask me for help. So right, I finished the Buoy Wreath. As I said, it's already up in the shop, so I will put a picture up for you. I used the Starcraft Aran in white and watermelon to do the main part of the wreath, and I also used the leftovers to make a mini life buoy as well. All the other extra bits though were made from oddments, so I had a ball of Aran in my bag, which came from the shop actually I think, but I don't know what it is. It's got no label or anything. I found some sheep ears Calista in my stash to do the fish, and I had some Deramors left over to do some of the coral. So it's just a mixture of lots of different bits and pieces of yarn. Now what I actually did was combine two different patterns for wreaths. There was one in Crochet Now magazine, which is by Val Pierce, and there was one in Simply Crochet magazine, which is by Coastal Crochet, and I combined the two. The wreath for the life buoy itself was from Simply Crochet, and the coral and the netting that I put behind it were both from the one in Crochet Now. Everything else was from Simply Crochet. I did kind of make up the fish though, because the pattern in the magazine was not complete for the fish. Not sure why, but I did contact Coastal Crochet, and she did send me the pattern after I'd already made some fish. Yeah, I will try and put up a little description of how I made the fish. So if you wanted to try those ones instead, then you can do whatever you choose to do. Yeah, so that is one finished, and the wreath itself inside was one of those foam wreaths you get, which was 30 centimeters in diameter, and that's the first time I've used one of those wreaths though. Normally I make all the components and then attach it to either like a wire circle or a wooden wreath. Yeah, so it's quite interesting to have to actually stitch it to the foam piece, but I'm really happy with it, and it is now at the shop, and I've got loads of compliments from it as well. So as I mentioned, I used the leftovers to make another little life buoy, but it doesn't quite look like a life buoy to me. Yeah, I think either the stripes are too big, or because it's so small I should have done like half and half, so quartered. But there we go. So yes, I have a mini donut style. It's like a little rubber ringy really, isn't it? Using the Aran leftovers. So I'd hoped maybe to make a few more, but I'm not overly pleased with this one. So I used the same donut pattern I've used for all the other donuts, which are like still behind me, which is one I got from the works. But yeah, so it's super easy. You make two halves, stitch it together, and then I'm just made up the strips. I think they're 4 across. Yeah, so they are 4 half trebles across to make each of the strips. So yeah, my mini life buoy. So another project that I finished this month, I think I showed you this last month though, that I'd started it. I think I just had the bottom base of it done. Is the pineapple, which I got from my local shop, my local yarn shop. It is a Hardycraft kit, and I did have to alter it because I just didn't like how it was working up at the beginning. It's meant to be done cylindrically, so you just continue around in circles, you don't chain and step up for each round, but I just couldn't get it to work how I wanted it to look, so I did chain up and do each round individually before getting to the top. But that is just a personal preference. Again, I don't have it here with me. It is at the yarn shop, but I will put a picture up of what it looks like. We decided to put it into a little cocktail fish bowl, which we got from Poundland, to try and sort of push these little kits, because they are really cute. And actually, when I weighed the yarn that's left over, I mean, there's still loads of stuff in there, and there's still loads of yarn. I've managed to lose the eyes, don't know how, and the keyring loop, but I've got tons in my stash anyway, so I had to make do, of course. But yes, I measured the yarn, and I do believe there is enough to make a second one. So I use this Shepier's Katona. So we have the yellow and we have the green, and obviously there's loads of green left over because it is a smaller ball. The green is a, how many grams are in this one? Doesn't say. But in this one is 25 grams in the bigger ball. Yeah. So this one's got to be maybe 5 or 10 gram. I don't know. But yes, I still have enough left over that I think I could get another pineapple out. So I'm going to try and see if I can do that. And make another keyring. So yes, it's really simple to make up once you got going, and it's all done in half trebles. So yeah, it's super easy. The little bit at the top is not half trebles, but I think it's really clever how it works, because you start with a circle and then you build each leaf, and then you have to sort of just maneuver them so they sit upright to make the top of the pineapple. But yeah, it's another little hardy craft kit that I have worked on this month. Now the last thing I can actually physically show you right now is some samples I have made for the crochet class. They have been living in my little grey girl bag with my critical pin or knitical pin. I can't remember. I picked it up at Comic-Con because we went to Comic-Con this year for the first time, and we had a really good time. So yeah, it's currently living in this bag. I have the mini one to go with it because I love pandas. So let's just show you. I am using the Hint of Silver and Sherbet as my colours to demonstrate with. So I do have yarn attached to it, but I think that needs cutting. I think it's finished. The blue one is, the silver one is not. Yeah, I started making extra squares just to show people whilst we were practicing and whilst teaching, and that means I can then show them how to stitch them together later. So what I have is a square of double crochet. I then have a square of half trebles and a square of trebles. So this is kind of week 1/2. So you get to learn the basics of chaining, then you learn the basics of double crochet, half treble, and then move on to trebles. Once you've cracked the trebles, then I will move, oh hang on, I missed one. I also have a colour changing one as well, because it's not always something that gets taught, and I figured it would be quite nice to add that in as well. So yes, once we've moved past that and we've gone on to trebles, we can then move on to granny squares. So I have a couple of the granny squares, so one in each of the colourways. So you can have a look at try and do those. And then I've also made solid grannies as well, just so they can see the difference. And obviously it is practicing the chaining and the trebles, as well as going in different directions and changing colours. So there's quite a lot going on in a granny square, particularly if you are changing colour. So I figured that would be a nice progression. And then we have C2C. So I love C2C because it's so simple and easy to do, and you're just going backwards and forwards diagonally. So you start in one corner with a block, and then you make 2 more blocks, attach those together, and then you keep going up and down. So I figured I would do one in each colour so you can see what it looks like in the 2 different colours they've chosen. So they've all chosen their own colours, and that's what I love about teaching, is that everyone chooses something slightly different. And I figured I would also show them how to change colour in a C2C as well, because actually we get quite a lot of people asking us how to do the C2C. So it's nice to be able to actually show them. And if you want to do a graph gown, you need to be able to change colour. So it's all part of the learning process. And the idea is that actually potentially you could make lots of them and stitch them together. So this is kind of like week 4 for C2C, week 3 for grannies, and weeks 1 and 2 are learning your basics. So it's actually been really successful, and we had so many people that we had to put on 3 different sessions, and we'd only expected to put on 1. And we have a waiting list now as well, so I'm really excited to be able to bring crochet to more people. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. So I've already taught 3 sessions so far. We've done week 1, and next week I'll be doing week 2. So yeah, can't wait. Now, in order to make sure that me writing up a granny square pattern was readable, my friend Emma also tested it out for me and made her own granny square, which I think is really nice. Hasn't she done well? Again, she's just used the yarn that I had, and then I had some yellow in my bag at the time as well. So she has added that too, and I think that's really sweet. So yeah, thanks Emma. Now I am using a 4mm Knit Pro hook to do the samples, and that's what we've suggested everybody else to use as well. Now the reason I've suggested them using a 4mm hook and DK yarn is because actually the majority of patterns that I find, or that other people have found for crochet, are in DK, and most of them require a 4mm hook. So rather than teach them on like super chunky yarn that they might not actually use for crochet, I've taught them like an average, what I would consider an average or a standard size yarn and size hook, because, or size weight yarn, sorry. Yeah, so that is what we have been doing, and I look forward to seeing how everyone gets on over the next few weeks too. Now the last finish I have for this month is the Lullaby Blanket, which I showed you last month because I was working on it as a whip. It is a baby blanket from a crochet book. It is basically a solid granny, but you have a bigger hole in the corners, so it makes this nice pattern. And I'd set myself the target of finishing it before our retreat. Now the reason I'd done that is because it was for the yarn shop, the Yarn Dispensary in Faversham, and that's where our retreat was. So I wanted to make sure that I had it finished, it was blocked, and it was ready to go, ready to get there and be photographed, so I didn't have to then post it later. And I'm pleased to say I finished with a few days to spare, so it was blocked, and all the ends were woven in as well. Unfortunately, there was a bird incident whilst we were out in the courtyard, but that is easily fixable, so it's fine. Yeah, so I'm going to pass you over to Past Me to talk a little bit more about that blanket, because obviously I do not have it here. So yeah, let's go back in time, shall we? Hi everyone. So I'm recording this early because I've just finished it, and it is heading to the Yarn Dispensary on the 30th, so it's not actually going to be here when I record the podcast. So yeah, I thought I would show you now. So it's in my Yarn Dispensary bag, which is made by Jules of Sparkle Julia, exclusively for the Yarn Dispensary. And inside I have been using the Rowan Summerlight DK, which is in 50-gram balls. I've had a cream colour, a pale blue colour, more of a dusty tealy kind of blue, and then there's a gold and a navy, which I have used all of. So I've used both of the balls of navy that I had, the one ball of gold, and I have those left over from the ones I've been using. So out of 6 balls, I've still got maybe a ball left effectively between those 3. Don't know, need to actually weigh it. These yarns don't really have a colour though, they have numbers. So I've still got all the ball bands. So it's shade 466, shade 470, 468. There's got to be one more in here. 479, which I think is the cream. No, the cream is 466. So out of 7 balls, I've used almost 6. It is the Lullaby Blanket, which is in a baby crochet booklet or book, and I have sort of put together my own little colour repeat from the colours that I was provided, and here is the blanket. Now you'll notice that my camera is a bit far away today because I knew this would not fit in the screen otherwise. So it is basically just a solid granny, but you get this nice opening in each of the corners. It could probably do with a bit of a block because it is sagging a little bit where I'm holding it up, but it is a square. I can promise you it is a square. So you can see that I've started in the middle with the cream, then I've gone into the light blue, into the tealy blue, navy, gold, navy, because I had 2 balls of the navy. Now I will let you into a secret. The last round didn't quite make it of the navy blue. I think I had maybe that much left to go when I did it the first time. So as you do when you're trying to make yarn stretch as far as possible, I undid it, redid it, and I had 9 stitches left. So I undid it again and did it for a 3rd time, and there was not an awful lot left over when I made it to the end. I have woven in all of the ends. You can still see like little tufty bits of the tails, but I think once it's washed and blocked you won't actually see them anyway. So yes, it has probably taken me, I mean I started back in June, the beginning of June, during the Jubilee celebrations at the Yarn Dispensary. Now obviously I haven't done it exclusively every day. I have obviously worked on the knitted cowl first because I had a deadline for that one, and because I am heading to the Yarn Dispensary on the 30th, that was my deadline for this one as well. So that means both my samples for the shop are now complete, which means I can either work on my own projects or try and finish the other samples that I have. It's the only thing I think with being a sample maker is that there's not an awful lot of time to make what I want to make. So I'm having to take breaks from the sample projects to make other little things in between so I don't get bored. But yeah, other than that, I'm rather pleased with this. It is supposed to be, I think, 25 rounds. So you do the first 4 rounds initially, and then you repeat the last round, it says 24 times. So that would have taken me to the first navy round. Now, because I wanted to complete the pattern repeat that I'd put in, I then did the gold round, which is why I then did the blue at the very last round 3 times to make sure that it did in fact complete the pattern. So yes, there we are. One baby blanket finished. And I'd never done like a solid granny before, so I'm really happy with this. Yeah. I rather like the colour actually. Now the pattern calls for a 4.5 hook, but I found that my tension was really loose with it, so I dropped to a 4mm, purely because my tension is clearly a lot better in that, and it didn't feel as gappy or as holy with the 4mm. It could be because it's cotton yarn, that it still looks quite loose. I would prefer it to be a lot tighter than that, but I think it's because of the yarn that it's nice and smooth. So yeah, but overall I am very pleased with it. Right, moving on to whips, and I only have one because I have spent most of my time working on finishing the baby blanket and the wreath, so I haven't really made anything for myself for a while, and I wanted to just make something for me. So I picked up box 36 of Crochet Society and decided that I was going to make the bag, which is called Fun at the Fair bag. So let's find a picture for you in the book. It is this one. So I've decided to make the Fun of the Fair bag. It is by Lucy Cartwright, who is melly.le.crochet on Instagram. However, what I found is that my tension was slightly different to the one made here. Now we get a 3.25 crochet hook with this box, so I've used that because that's what the pattern also says to use. However, it's meant to be 22 centimeters across at the bottom, which when you finish the pattern, I believe is there. Mine, it wasn't 22 centimeters, so I had to do 3 more rows. So I actually go up to the light green. So I've done 2 full repeats plus 1 round to get mine to the right size of 22 centimeters. So yeah, and it's still going. Like, I'm not at 22 centimeters. It's meant to be 22 centimeters high as well, and I am not quite there yet. It is half trebles. It is super easy to do. The yarn is nice and thick. It is a DK yarn from the box. I think it's the Confection DK. So let me get one of the balls out for you that still has the label on. This, yeah, Limoncello. So this is Confection DK by Bella Coco. I've got my hook caught up now. And you get 6 balls of yarn, 6 different colours. So I'm really hoping that there is enough yarn in there to make the little lion afterwards, considering I've had to make it slightly wider at the bottom, and I think I'm only a couple of rows out from the required count on the pattern, but I'm not sure it's going to reach the right height at the same time. It looks almost like a bucket. I think it's quite wide. Yeah, so I might actually make it a bit taller. What I could do is do one of the flags to see how far down it sits, and then decide whether I want to go a bit higher. I think I'm going to go for another white. So I'm going to do another repeat until you hit white again, because the top is all joined in white, so it'd be quite nice to have that at the same time. And yeah, I think it'd just be a bit tidier as well. I mean, there are loads of ends to weave in, but I'm really enjoying it. It's so easy to do that it is perfect for beginners. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to finishing it actually and using it over the summer, because I think it's quite cool. It's more like a carnival, isn't it? Carnival bag. I love the colours in it, and actually I think this is one of those projects that can be made in anything. You could do it in chunky, you could do it in Aran, you could do it in any colours you like, and it would still look good. So I highly recommend this pattern from, I've forgotten already, Lucy Cartwright. Yeah, I think it's a bit bigger, just a bit. Yeah, but I'm really enjoying it, so hopefully next month you'll be able to see that finished. And that's it. That's what I've been working on this month. Not very much, is it? And yeah, we've only been recording for not very long. I feel like I've spoken really fast though, so by all means you're welcome to slow down the video so you can listen to me speak at a sensible pace. Yes, so next up is acquisitions. I don't really have anything extremely new to show you. Each month I still get my Truly Hooked blanket club, I still get Perf Collab Club yarn, and I've been getting the Siobhan's Crafts Care Bear boxes, so I have those for you to show you. I have also picked up Crochet Donut Buddies. Now this has been in my wish list on Amazon since it was up for pre-release or pre-order, and I really want to make the dinosaur. He's just so cute. Yeah, it is a book by Rachel Zane, who I believe is Oodles of Crochet on Instagram. I might have that wrong, but I will double check and put it down below for you. Yeah, I really like this book. There are so many different ones in here. It's just gonna be so much fun actually working through it, and I know that I can use quite a lot of my stash to make these up, so that's going to be really fab to work up. I also have purchased a simplicity pattern from Amazon as well. It's for teddy bears, dogs, or teddy bears, puppies, and rabbits. Now this is actually for work because I don't know where my copy's gone, but at the same time I haven't actually looked for it. And what I plan to do is stick the pattern onto card and cut out the pattern pieces, so there is a copy of each one more than once, so I can then photocopy it and cut it out on card. And the idea is that the first project I'm going to be doing with my year 10s next year is to make a toy. So they're going to need to be able to make using a pattern, and I figured this would be perfect for them, because they have to learn about things like health and safety and all the rules and regulations about what you need to put on a product and the performance of a product before it goes to sell. So I figured this would be perfect because there's loads of regulations you need to know, like for example the fact that they need to be tested so that they are safe for children, because you cannot sell a toy or something that is deemed a toy without it being tested. So yes, that is why I have that. And because these have slightly different, these have noses, I have also purchased a box of eyes and noses as well in various different colours, so that I can also make one along with them and show them how it's done basically. What I'm hoping is we can do some experiments, things like dyeing fabrics and stuff like that, so that it's not just getting like a very boring white toy, but I have lots of fabric at work that I can choose from as well. So yeah, that's going to be my first project. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do and how their toys will come out. So yeah, I think they have 6 sessions to make it, so it's going to be a bit tight, but I think we can do it. I'm optimistic. So as mentioned before, here are this month's blanket club yarns from Truly Hooked. We have number 13 at the bottom and 14 at the top. We are going very much blue now, so I think I'm definitely going to be adding last year's one and put them together in something, because I think then I'll get a full colour spectrum. I'm not too sure, but that is the plan anyway, because I believe I have the same amount for each. I think I have got all the 10 gram minis from last year as well. If they're 20 grams, doesn't matter. I'll just have a little bit more. So yeah, that is what they are going to go with. I think I'm going to make them into a blanket and maybe put some plain undyed yarn in between, so you get stripes, or I could just let it flow so that it becomes a proper gradient. Haven't fully decided yet, but watch this space. We've still got a few more months to go of the year. Next up is the Perth Collab Club yarn, which is called Hysteria, which I believe was a Muse album. I can never remember by the time these arrive, but I do have a full record on Instagram. So I have bought one in the DK because there are so many colours in this, and Muse are one of my favourite bands, so I had to do it. And I also got the 4-ply as well, so the finger and weight sock yarn. Yeah, I think I'm going to end up knitting a pair of socks before the year is out, because there is a new yarn going up for sale today, which is 4-ply, which I really want. And I'm hoping that if I can get it, then we can all do a knit along and make a pair of socks together. Or at least that's the plan. So yeah, I have two. These are from Beaufiddle Yarn. Again, they are Perth Collab Club yarns. So they are only available 1 month of the year. They are exclusives, so I'm putting all of mine together in some way or another. I'm doing last year's together, and then I'll do this year's together in 2 separate projects. So yes, really happy with these. There are so many colours, and I love that same colourway, but the yarn takes it slightly differently. So yeah, I'm very happy with these. And lastly, we have the Care Bear for this month, who is Good Luck Bear. Here is green with a 4-leaf clover. So the yarn we have is also green to match. And I love that there's like, where the colour I think has split the pigments, you've got all these different greens. I love it. So yeah, these are all going together as well into their own project. Again, I've got the DK version, and we have our matching stitch markers. We have a 4-leaf clover in there too, and the one with the bear cupcake matches the bag, which again is tie-dyed in a green colour to match. So yeah, really enjoying these as well. Gonna be really sad when there's none left. We have a few months left obviously of the year, so these will keep going until, I don't know if the last one will be out in December or pre-ordered in December. I don't know, I'll have to check, but yeah, really excited about those, and I cannot wait to find the perfect project for them either. So it's by Siobhan's Crafts, and it is, you can go onto the website. I think they are put up around the 20th each month for you to buy, and then they get shipped out the next month. And that's it. Yeah, so for August, then my plans are to finish the Postcards with Love Cow. Again, as I said, it's currently in my car, but I think if I can finish my bag either today or tomorrow, then I can work on the blanket on Wednesday at Knit and Natter, and hopefully get a bit more progress done on that. I've just mentioned the bag. That's what I want to finish this month as well, because it shouldn't actually take me that much longer. And the last thing I wanted to do is make progress on some of my other samples. Now that includes the Kalinda shawl that I started, oh god, did I start it last month or the month before? That's for Ammo Yarn using Water Gardens. I want to finish that, or at least make some progress on it, because I feel like that should be done a lot quicker, and I haven't finished one ball yet either, so need to get a move on with that. And I have the Spring Fling scarflet that still needs doing as well. So those are my 3, I think. Are they the 3 samples I have still outstanding? I believe they are. Yeah. Let's at least try and make some progress on all of those. If I don't finish them, at least I will have progress on them. And I think that's it. So throughout August, I'll be teaching twice a week, Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And yeah, today is the 1st of August, which is actually my wedding anniversary. So he's waiting for me to finish podcasting before he comes home. Yeah, I'm hoping actually that this will not take me very long to upload and get edited. So hopefully you'll see this very soon. What else is there to mention? July has been just one of those months, honestly. Even though we had gained time because we didn't have year 11, and then at one point year 10 were out on work experience, I don't feel like I was very productive for the last month of the year, of the school year. But yeah, I seem to be very tired all the time. But other than that, I think things are moving in the right direction. I'm not sure I like the current pace. I feel like they should be moving a bit quicker. But in some respect, I've been waiting a long time for some of these things. So yeah, I can wait a bit longer, I guess. My dad has given me 2 puzzles. One is knit and natter, and one is like a haberdasher's. So maybe I'll even do those over the summer as well. We spent 2 days in Yarmouth, me and my husband. We just needed to go somewhere and just switch off. So that is exactly what we did. We spent the majority of the time either sitting on the beach or walking up and down the Golden Mile and going in all the penny arcades. Or at least I did. I am obsessed with penny arcades. So we actually got quite a lot of stuff. To the point where I think I cleared out a machine. More than once. Yeah. But that will all be in the summer vlogs. So I'm not going to go into much detail here. The other thing I've done in the last week or so is go to our Midnight Makers retreat, which was at the yarn shop. So at the Yarn Dispensary in Faversham, where I got to meet up with all my Zoom buddies from Knit Nights and Coffee Mornings, which are all hosted by Gemma of the Midnight Diary, who is also the manager for the Yarn Dispensary. I think she's also a director. Is that what it is? I am rubbish at remembering titles, but she's got a very good job. And we all want it to succeed. Just as much as I want my local yarn shop to succeed, I want the Yarn Dispensary to succeed as well. And I think it was just nice for us to all go and spend the weekend together. So yeah, that was great. And didn't actually buy anything. Except food. Yeah. Anyway, we had a very good weekend. And it was just nice to relax and just sit around, chat, knit, crochet. Yeah, it was just a really, really good weekend. And now it's back to the rest of the summer. I think we are planning to go to Bexhill for a couple of days, but nothing is really set in stone at the moment, so I'm not sure if that's going to happen. I know there is also a yarn event in East Anglia. It's the sister show of the East Anglia Yarn Festival, which is up in Norwich. And I had planned to go, but I'm not actually sure I'm going to have the funds to do so. So I will have another look close to the time. If I do go, then you'll come with me on my vlogging. Otherwise, it's going to be teaching and crochet for the month of August. And what I'm actually going to do is go out on walks as well with Helen from All Tangled Up on Tuesdays after our second session of teaching. Just so that we get a bit of exercise in. And we feel a bit better about ourselves. So yeah, that's the plan. Another thing I've had to do this month is, sadly, after coming back from the weekend, I've decided to throw out my trainers, which I've had for well over 4 years. Can't actually remember when I bought them, but they're all completely split at the bottom and starting to give me blisters. So yeah, time that they go. the reason I've held on to them for so long is because I haven't been able to find a decent pair to replace them, because they have rubber soles and I don't like the foam soles that are currently everywhere. So yeah, there is that. But in the process of working out that I'm going to throw those out, I've also decided to throw out my sandals because they really hurt my feet when I was in Yarmouth. I think we'd just been walking for far too long by that point, because we managed to do over 30,000 steps in 2 days. My husband, that's normal for my husband. He walked everywhere. But for me, not so good. My calves have not been happy since then. And when I was prepping to go to Faversham, I tried on a different pair of shoes that I had, which are more like canvases, and they also don't fit. So they're going in the bin too. So that's 3 pairs of shoes that I'm getting rid of with nothing to replace them with. So I think that's everything. Yeah, I've been finding lots of projects though, or kits of projects that I've not started yet, which I actually could do. Things like, I have this lion kit. Now, I don't know if this was bought when I started podcasting or not. It may have been before. My friend Emma and I both bought the same kit so that we could work on it together and make a lion. But that hasn't happened, so I still have the kit. I think actually Emma might have made her yarn into a blanket instead, but yeah, I still want to make the lion. It's a crochet kit, so I'm quite confident in doing that, and it's chunky. And the other one is this sugar and cream kit, which I got, I think I got as a gift. It's a present, I think, from my nan, to make this bag. But the colours of yarn are different to the colours in the picture, because those are the colours I have. Yeah. Doesn't matter. I'll still have a go at making it. It is cotton yarn. I don't know what thickness it is, but yeah, we're going to have a go at that as well. I don't know if it'll be this month, because clearly I've got other things to be doing, but they are kind of in the pipeline to actually get on with. So I think that's everything for today. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing how my students get on with the toys in September. That's it. So thank you for spending some time with me today. Hopefully next month I'll have a bit more I can physically show you. Yeah, because I don't know. Yeah, hopefully I'll have a bit more I can physically show you, because some of them obviously need to go to the yarn shop, but yeah, I need to make more for me, don't I? Anyway, that's it. So I will speak to you again next month. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you all again soon. Take care. Bye.